Text 6. The National Center on Education and the Economy analyzes the international economy in order to formulate an agenda for American education. The following article and graphic were published on the NCEE website following the release of the 2018 Program for International Student Assessment results. The PISA is a worldwide study by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, that evaluates education systems by assessing the world's 15-year-olds in mathematics, science, and reading. The measurements are given every 3 years. PISA results show need for educational reset. At a time when the nation's economic future depends on the knowledge and skills of its workforce, the results of the 2018 Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, which illustrates that the U.S. performance remains well behind that of many other countries, shows the need for a, quote, reset of the U.S. education system, said Anthony McKay, the president and CEO of the National Center on Education and the Economy. Quote, the world is off the pace set by the current world leaders, McKay said. We cannot be satisfied with the modest gains we made in reading and science. The time for a reset to the U.S. education system is now. The 2018 PISA results show again that U.S. high school students are failing to catch up with their counterparts in industrialized countries. Although the U.S. performed above the OECD average in reading and science, U.S. students performed below average in mathematics and below the performance of students in 30 other countries in that subject. Even more troubling, the gap between the U.S. and top-performing countries is large. Students in the 4 Chinese provinces that took the assessment, Beijing, Shanghai, Jiangsu, and Zhejiang, which represent a population of 184 million, half of that of the United States, performed almost 4 grade levels ahead of U.S. students in mathematics. China is now poised to overtake the U.S. in the world's economy. It is hard to see how the United States can compete with a far larger country that has a much better educated workforce that charges much less than we do for labor. Increasing unemployment, even lower wages, and growing political instability will be the inevitable result if we do not greatly improve the education of our young people, said Mark Tucker, founder and distinguished senior fellow at NCEE. The gap between advantaged and disadvantaged students in the U.S. is also larger than that in top-performing countries. In the U.S., advantaged students outperformed disadvantaged students in reading by 99 points in 2018, compared with 59 points in Hong Kong, 61 points in Estonia, and 68 points in Canada. And the gap between high-performing and low-performing students has increased since 2015 in both mathematics and reading, largely because high performers' scores increased while those of low performers remained flat. The recently released results of the National Assessment of Education Progress, NAEP, showed a similar widening of the performance gap. This is particularly troubling, noted McKay, because the proportion of disadvantaged students in the U.S. is increasing. It is simply unacceptable that students in a growing number of countries leave high school significantly ahead of American students. A great deal depends on catching up quickly.